Yo, yo, Adrian, can you hear me?
I can. Harry, nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you too. I'm recording. Let me know if you don't want that. It's up to you.
That's fantastic. This is great. Yeah, I thought it was for 11 o'clock, so I'm good to go.
Did I get the time wrong? Is it 10 o'clock there?
It's 10. Yeah.
Oops. Okay, and that's what time? CST, MST is the 10, is it?
That's Mountain Standard, so we're Pacific. That's okay though. It's all good. This is all good.
Awesome, brother. Okay, appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for reaching out to me, man. I hope I'll answer to the best of my abilities any questions you have.
Well, for sure. Well, I was really intrigued. I think it was back in, you did an interview with a lady in the States, and how I came across it. Of course, I'm a huge fan of Santos.
Santos Panacci, yeah, he's cool.
Yeah. So every time he puts something out there, like, I'm really intrigued to dig a little deeper. So I saw the interview. I forget the lady's name.
I think you mean Kate Stillman. She's kind of cool too. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's when I first heard. I mean, obviously I've heard about the urine therapy in the past, but as you discover more self-realization and you start getting more into discovering more about yourself and health and everything about you, it just kept me going and going and going. And now I come across the urine therapy, and then how you presented it. It's just like, it was like, wow, okay, I gotta go more into this. And now the age urine is something else that I'm curious to learn more about, obviously.
Yeah, it's my favorite, bro. I mean, I'm being honest. I don't, unless I'm in a public toilets, and then I just rub it straight out the urinals into my hand and rub it in my face. I'm not really doing fresh, and I just go straight to the top. Although fresh is good too. So, I work with people whatever they want to do.
Yeah. Well, right now, because I'm just starting to get into it, so I am doing urine therapy. I've been doing it since beginning of March.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. So you're newly into it, 1 month and a bit, 1 month, I'd say. That's cool.
So I'm new to it, and of course, the first couple of days into it, just reading the books like the Golden Fountain, and of course the one that I forget her name, Christy.
Your Own Perfect Medicine. That got me started.
Medicine. Yeah, got that. So obviously it talks about the the fresh urine mostly, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's true. That's why I wrote my books. It was like it's just a demand for it. I knew that no one was talking about it in book format enough on a specific title, The Aged. So I thought, oh, that's smart. I'll write a book, a very small book, but it's a book on aged.
Yeah. And when did you start getting to the age urine? Obviously, you must start with the fresh first, and then you.
I mean, that's how I did it. But I think if you read my first one, I say to people, you can go straight for the age. But then I also said in the book, the caveat is, this detox reaction, which I'm sure you're familiar with. Did you suffer a detox reaction when you started? Were you doing fresh, age? I'm thinking, are you just on fresh?
You have to start. So right now, the question I have, like, when I first getting into it, I started to clean up my diet. I wanted to make sure more things were clean. I mean, there's a few things which I was listening to your little spiel yesterday about dairy. Right?
Yes.
And I know dairy is one of those tough things to get out of your system.
Yeah.
But we've done that over here. Like, there's still a little bit of cheese in our diet, but there's no milk products. There's nothing that's been out of our system for quite some time.
Cool.
But what we've done is we've also taken out like wheat products as well, because wheat's not good for you either, right?
True, and that's where I need to get to. I'm playing at a level where I need to really step up my diet game, but I'm doing it slowly. But yes, agree. That would take you to the next level of urine therapy, taking wheat out.
Right. So of course, I knew my diet needed to be cleaned up a little more. So I waited about a week, and I've been limited. I haven't had a drink of wine and a beer in about 40 days.
Wow, that's cool. That's good.
So I want to kind of keep it clean, and of course, this is why I want to talk to you about all those little nuances of doing the urine therapy. So my first week in of being somewhat clean, I've been aging my urine since Feb 28, my first jar.
Right. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Right. So my questions are, let's say what I've done is I've put it on the windowsill upstairs in my in one of my yoga rooms, and I've covered it with a washcloth.
Okay. Yeah.
So these are kind of questions I want to ask, like for aged urine. Like,
Mhm.
can I, like, when I start doing more of the aging, can I store it into dark places? Like, how do you do, like, do you can it? Like, how does that all come together when you're aging it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll be my big jam, and you can have different opinions. Everyone can have different opinions. There's different ways. Mine is no dogma. So I say, I mean, I have got a lot of glass bottles now, but I've also got plastic bottles with glass. I just say to people, do what you can. So ideally glass, ideally lid open, but closed still ages too.
Yeah.
Washcloth's awesome because I assume that stops the insects coming in, but allows a little air to come in, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
That's probably ideal, and that's what Monica Shute, because I learned from Monica Shute, and she recommended a washcloth or a cheesecloth, and that's perfection what you're doing with that one. In terms of location, it's a funny one because to age the urine the faster, which I guess is the question we all want, because we want it to be so powerful quicker, because we want to get through batches. I mean, this is the thing. The further away from EMFs, a less EMF environment, and that includes don't putting it next to Wi-Fi routers in your house tactically, and of course, depending on your live. I mean, if you live in the city, it's going to age slower, isn't it, compared to the towns? Beyond that, the darkness, complete darkness, would age urine faster, but paradoxically, sunlight, not fake light, sunlight, putting it outside in the sunlight, even with the lid closed, because some of the sun goes through the glass, but if the lid's open, even more. So there's like paradoxes. I mean, you can be really extreme about it depending on the person, and maybe in the daytime send it outside. But then if we've got loads of batches, how do you do that? If you've got one or two, it's easy to move it outside. But if you've got loads, you can't just move all your batches outside in sunlight and then inside in the dark. And actually, if you keep it outside, that could be one of the best potentially, because then you've got the sunlight and the moonlight. But also, if you put it in a dark room like the garage, that would age it fast too, because like complete darkness from there would age it. I mean, I'd say as long as you don't put it next to a Wi-Fi router and don't, I mean, it's a very consciously non EMF zone, it's going to age well. That makes any sense, and fast too. And if you really want to geek out, you can put it in the refrigerator, which I know is a paradox because EMFs are in refrigerators, but I'll tell you what, the cold ages it really fast, even though there's a little bit slowing down, it speeds it up. So a freezer, and then you can put it in a freezer, I'll take it out if you want, or a refrigerator, and it will age it faster. So there's loads of ways we can do to make it age faster, but they all perfect and they all age by themselves.
So again, like going back, so that all makes sense to me, and that's great. Thank you for that. Now the diet, I you know when you talked about the dairy yesterday and wheat, whatever. So you're saying so we can. Obviously you want to have a cleaner diet. Obviously, you don't want to be taking. I mean, I don't take no medication at all. No. So what I do is I like to smoke. I like to smoke the Pacalola. I like to smoke my ganj. I like to smoke that.
Well, that's not bad because I think that's sacred medicine. And to be honest with you, I don't see why. And me too, recently, and I'm going to get more into it. I like that irregularly to do it. But also, I would assume that the weed is coming out into the urine. So when you age it, you've got some kind of that medicinal going on. So that's good too. You're redoing a little bit, not full on, but it's good.
Yeah. Because when I was watching you have the interview with Santos there, you guys are talking about that. He was talking about taking the mushrooms or whatever he was taking. He goes, it just increases the whole experience as well. So.
Yes, definitely. I think I'm big on the aged urine psychedelic plant medicine thing. So when I do the big ones, the bufo, the ayahuasca, the LSD, I'll always keep it in bottles of just that one and know it's my LSD pee, my magic mushroom pee, not a weed pee.
Yeah. So the aged urine, so you want to have your diet pretty much clean.
Ideally, yes. I mean, I'll be honest though. It depends on the person. For me, yes. For some people that are completely new to this lifestyle, no, just do it anyway. Because aged urine, in a way of looking at it, becomes perfect sort of anyway. But no, if we want to focus on that because we want to get the max amount of medicine, yes, let's focus on diet because it really will maximize the aged urine's speed. And also, there's a little bit difference in quality of the aged urine. Quite a big difference with, if you do focus on diet.
Right. And how much a day? Like right now, I'll give you example for myself being new at this. Like I'm all in. Like I feel great. I feel different in 1 month of doing this. I really do.
Do you? Can I ask how much you take on average a day since you started?
Okay, so the fresh one in the morning time. I started doing it about 2 weeks ago, but I've been doing it for about a month. But full on 2 weeks. It's one in the morning time, one mid morning. I would say one early afternoon, and then probably one around supper, go to bed. And they're like mouthfuls,
Nice.
right?
So that's
I'm not doing the whole thing. So I'll take again. So going into that. So what I do, and again, just a book I read, and yeah, I think you said doesn't matter. But again, I want to confirm with you being here live with you today. It says when you first start to urinate, let the first 5-10 seconds go, and then collect the rest. The rest of it, don't worry about it.
That's
What's
what
your
I've
thoughts on
heard.
that?
That's what I've heard in Martha Christie's book. I've also, the ancient texts, if I'm being honest, also have suggested those things. But I know I've and other people, not just me, have said since. I mean, that's called searching for absolute perfection, and I'm not in that regard. I'm going like, okay, there's a truth to it somewhat, but I'm just like, oh, my morning pee. Oh, wait the couple of seconds, maybe, or just I'll just drink it all. Because in a way, it's always good, and I don't want to be too extreme, even though I guess me and you are extreme with what we do, aren't we? So I try to tend towards the idea of I'm not really gonna, oh, okay, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, collect, and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can't be bothered, to be honest, with that stuff.
So it really doesn't make a difference, either or.
Yeah, I mean, when I do the fresh urine in the urinals and I'm just peeing, as soon as it comes out, more or less, I'm just splodging it on my face. I'm going, cool, got my urine in. I'm not thinking, oh shit, let the first one loose. Although I don't mind if people do that, if they want to do that, then it probably does make some kind of a small difference, because it probably does.
Right. And now for the topicals, when you rub it into your body, so age, new, they're equally good, but age obviously is 10 times better. And when you do rub it into your body, is it like a cream? You rub it in, get it all dried in, and you leave it, or do you rinse it off?
Good question. Depends on the person. You ideally, I'd say you want to rub it in. And by the way, it depends. It does smell. Have you ever done it before?
No. I've been doing just the fresh, and my urine's not really smelling that bad, so I don't really smell it off myself, to be honest.
Okay. Have you smelled your aged yet?
Nah, just a little bit through the cloth, and it's starting to get that potent smell.
Okay. So here's the deal. The aged urine, that potent smell you're talking about, it's only concerning when you rub on your skin, because I'm gonna say, and we all know, it's gonna smell on your skin for a few hours. Because your skin's organic, it will seep in. So be careful who you're around if it offends people on the outside world when you do this. And one way to get around it's really cool is, if you're going to be in the outside world, is to do it at night time, maybe before you go to bed. That's a great time to do the aged urine rubs. So you're going to rub this in, and then what you do is you really rub it in. It's kind of sticky, like a gel water. Rub it in, and go over the same area. The most important areas John Armstrong discovered, and I agree, is the face, the neck, and the feet. If you can get it in those areas focused, obviously a whole body rub, but then you're talking about spending half an hour to an hour every night, and depending on time, that's ideal. So focus on the face, the neck, the feet, rub them in, and really rub it in. Then go over the same area, rub, and that's the one that the smell will linger for a few hours. But to be honest, you'll feel different within the minutes of doing this process. You'll feel more energy, more balanced if you do the brain one. It's really magical and high vibration. It's like halfway house towards psychedelics without using psychedelics. So very similar, but halfway, but a free, and I love it.
Right. And so leading to that, so I'm doing that. So while I'm doing the fresh as right now, when I do it, I just put on my face, my neck. I haven't done my feet yet, but I'm going to be doing that. But also starting to snort it.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And what a sensation, I'm telling you, of doing that. I'm sure you've done that, but when I did it for the first time, when I was, watching and reading upon certain articles, the shot of energy, I thought it was just like, nah, I'm kind of skeptical. And then all of a sudden I did it, and it was completely cleared up my sinuses.
Wow.
And just the energy was unbelievable.
Yes. And that's just fresh urine up the nose, huh?
Yeah. So exactly. I can imagine with
I think because I've forgotten that kind of feeling. The reason why is because I guess when you get to a certain level, when you're really down in a way in a particular area, blocked up, and then you put something powerful up there, it really shocks you. Like when you're seriously ill and you take urine, sometimes it can give you a detox reaction. That's kind of similar to what you had. It must have been very blocked up, I assume, this area with the fresh. But if you keep working the fresh a little bit, get used to it. Not that you won't get benefits. That rush you got at the beginning will taper off. You get used to high vibration, and then you can start working with the aged, which will take you to another level. of whoosh, and it's a bit more painful.
Yeah.
You might have heard the aged urine is it is alkaline and burning. Not that it burns you and harms you. It's just I guess no pain, no gain comes to do with aged urine up the nose. It's
Right.
and aged urine on the eyes too. It's a bit like yeah, depends on the person and who you are. You know, if you're up for it, it's really powerful and a nice rush,
Yeah.
but it can worry people with a burn, and some people don't want to go through that pain.
Yeah, that's just someone blocking themselves, right? That's someone doesn't really want to get into the self-discovery. And I think that's
Yes.
what we're all of us right now doing this is on a journey of self-discovery. Everything we do is always discovering another part of ourselves, which is really amazing to me.
Yeah.
And that's the part of one of my things I like to help people is just at least start with discovering yourself first. Start, because most people just want to do the basics, which they go, okay, I'll meditate. Okay, then what? And then what? And there's so much to us, right? There's just so much to us.
Yeah. Yeah, there's many levels, and I think well, your urine is you, isn't it, at the end of the day? So if you're not drinking you, what are you drinking? Things that aren't you that are causing you harm.
So all this information so far that I've asked, that this is in your books.
A lot of it is, and some of it isn't, because I'll be honest, my books are good, but remember they were written in the first one was in 2019 on urine. The first was early 2020, so that the second one was even 2 years ago from now, 2 years and a bit. The third one was 3 years ago. So since then, I've become more proficient with my practice protocols, what I've seen, what I've experienced. So what I'm telling you, some of it is updated knowledge, and because my books are very tiny, but that gives me license to keep writing books as I update my knowledge on the same topic without redoing what I've written before and boring people basically. So no, you're getting new stuff. Even the interviews you've seen, I haven't put them all in my book. I kept my books basic for people maybe that aren't like you and me, that already have an understanding of health and detox. My books are very much like, oh, you're completely new to urine therapy and aged urine, go for it. And as I write them more, I'll talk more like we're doing now, more for more serious practitioners that already don't need the basics.
Yeah, and do you find yourself getting more busier and busier, getting more interviews now because of what you're doing and getting your name out there the last couple of years?
Sort of, bro. I mean, I don't really seek out for interviews anymore, but yeah, I guess every now and again I get those interviews from people, and I really appreciate them. I've certainly noticed Aged Urine is blowing up through my book sales, and it's always going to be my most popular book. And it's definitely not a Facebook crowd that know me. It's just people that are typing in either urine or aged urine. And it's cool if people type in aged urine. So it's getting very big, and it's not just internet anymore. It's people that don't even use the internet that are buying these things and trying them out. So yeah, it's going
And
to
to
be
get your
huge.
book is only on Amazon, or where do you get your book from?
Yeah, well, I can send them to people, so I do have copies too, because I know some people don't like using Amazon. That's fair enough. But yeah, the best way, I guess, unless you want a signed copy, and actually I do them a little cheaper too, if people want to go through me. But yeah, the main one I do is
absolutely. So it'll be the same thing. Send you some PayPal money and then ship it off to Canada.
and that's easy for me to do too, bro. And I can sign it too. And it's slightly, I put it slightly cheaper because the reason why I put the Amazon so much is because, believe it or not, the 50% of that price that I put up goes towards Amazon. So I
Yeah,
get,
wow.
very little. And that's one of the
So what? How
deals
much
with
is your
Amazon.
book?
It's a good question. I don't know Canadian dollars. In UK it's £14, £13, I think, or something.
Okay. That's all I need to know. It'll do the exchange for me. So 14.
Yeah, I got two books. The first one is The 8 Ways to Get Aged Urine in Your System and the Science. And the second one is like assuming you know already a bit about aged urine and going a little bit deeper.
Yeah. Also, okay, here, a couple of questions here I want to have. Vitamins. I know people say they'll continue to take vitamins, but also on the podcast that you had with Santos, you guys were talking about the Dr. Schultzer's 12 salts. And
oh yeah, yes,
and of course, I've had this little book about William Schultzer's and the sea salts, the salts in our body. The 12 salts are really important. And I just kept going and going. And there's this other book. I'm not sure if you know this one.
I don't know. The Zodiac and Salt Station. Is that the 12 salts again?
Yes, by Dr. Carey. It's a recommended. This is really, really a neat book because it goes into detail of what salts you need for your type of
Interesting.
right? Your Scorpio, whatever you are, the Pisces and Aquarius. It's a really, those books are just amazing. So anyways, going back to that, I was going to start buying a bunch of the salts for going to growth, and you don't need nothing else. You just have to have these salts. And you guys are saying on the podcast, well, you don't really need to have that because you're already, because again, Santo said, well, I teach this stuff and you get it with your urine.
Yes.
So
That's what I
vitamins.
feel. That's what I feel. I mean, it makes complete sense. Your body already produces all these salts. I'm not saying in mega dose quantities. I'm not going to say that. But I'm going to say, yeah, of course. That's why I think when I drank urine the first few days, I got a massive flush. I mean, yes, it's powerful structured water, but I think part of the salt, natural, those kind of salts going in my body again, really cleansed out my colon. So I think there's a huge deal with them. I mean, there's no harm though in what you said. I think that's a good experiment to buy some of the particular salt that you are for your zodiac sign, take it in your diet. And obviously I'd recommend those salts would either stay in your body, be used, or some of them extra would come out in the urine, which you can retake as your particular salted urine. So that I'm sure would be excellent too as a supplement.
Right. So sort of vitamin intake. So do you recommend to continue to take vitamins? For myself, just based on what I've read, it says you don't really need to take that stuff because a lot of it's just placebo. A lot of it's just full of junk anyways. You're going to get very little. And most of these health stores don't really, it's a lot of fillers, as we know. A lot of fillers just to sell the product, as we know. So
well, I agree to a degree because I remember when I was buying mainstream as a younger kid, my dad was giving me the mainstream supplements, the vitamins, and I remember my pee being. Have you seen it before? When your urine goes a funny color, like fluorescent green and yellow. Right. So that showed me in hindsight that a lot of it was coming out in the pee and not going into the body. And then I guess if you redid that, why would it go back into the body? It's probably just going to do the same thing again and again and again. It depends because you can get quality vitamins and stuff, but a lot of the mainstream stuff is rubbish. It's not bioavailable, is what I'm saying. You need to get bioavailable stuff, vitamins.
Right.
And urine is urine obviously is a bioavailable source of multivitamins and nutrition, all that stuff.
Right. And then of course, so with the age urine, you get the more the stem cells come from it as you age, the longer obviously is like you could go. Like I'm seeing people say, oh yeah, this one's 40 years, or this is like,
40 years.
Crazy.
I didn't know someone had 40-year-old urine. I never saw that. Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how you keep it for that long. It's like it's like, are you Asian? It's like wine. It's like the longer the better.
I think me and you should pee in a bottle now, and not use it. We should, those time capsules. We'll make a time capsule urine. Forget about it. And then we'll tell people in a will we've left it, when we die. Here's what I've left behind. Here's age urine.
Here's my gold.
I actually think I'm going to do that. Jokes aside, that's a good idea. I really will do that.
Yeah. That's incredible. And this other thing is called Zero in Root.
Oh yeah, have you seen my root stuff? I love those supplements. The Zero in is incredible. I love it.
So what is that?
It's a happiness pill, but here's the thing: it's got 7 ingredients in it, and it's the synergies ingredients. But I think the main one is that it's called Mucuna pruriens, which in other words saying it's black velvet seed powder. Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
Okay, so black velvet seed powder is a natural herb called Capicaccia in Ayurveda, and basically it mega spikes your dopamine, which is a really powerful hormone, and it makes spikes your serotonin and dopamine. So in other words, it makes you super motivated, super energetic, and when your dopamine rises, your testosterone rises. So it's like a testosterone booster for men too. So you just basically become happy with life. And when I take them 2 or 3, I'm like, oh, what I notice is my reaction speeds get crazy. And dopamine, when we increase our dopamine, when you've had an ice bath dopamine, that also increases your reaction time. So I know there's something to this when I take a lot of them. Basically, it's a hack for me. Instead of, I will get around to ice baths, but that I want to replicate that feeling of having an ice bath to be motivated for life without maybe at this point in time buying an ice bath and doing it. So I take the Zero capsules, and then when I take them 2 or 3, my book writing becomes easier. If I have to do logical work, which I'm not always motivated to do, to be honest, my life gets easier to do the left brain stuff. That makes any sense.
Yeah.
I'm just more motivated to do things that I know are good for me when I take the urine. And it's healthy for you because it raises your serotonin, dopamine, gives you amazing sleep because the serotonin high gives you nice melatonin at nighttime. It's amazing supplement. You haven't tried it. All I say to you is try it, you know,
Okay.
and give it a go.
And where do you get the product from? Is that from your part of the world?
Yeah, so I affiliate with them, which means that through my link, you in order to get the product, I love the company. It's so kind and generous. You can't buy it without having a referrer. So I'll give you a link, and you go through the shop. You either buy the clean slate, the zero. By the way, I'd recommend the clean slate too, even over the zero, which I do love, because the clean slate is like aged urine to me for detoxification. But if I'm being honest, drop for drop, it's actually more powerful. Because one drop of aged is good, but when I took my first drop of clean slate, I felt something different. Like I don't know how to explain it. It did something different than age had ever done, and I love age urine. So I was surprised. I was against supplements completely before someone gave me a free bottle of clean slate, and I was like, I took a drop and I felt it go in my body, like my back, my spine, and woke my brain up. I was like, what is this thing? So it's really powerful detoxifying the clean slate, and the zeroin just ups your happiness and motivation for life and keeps you smiling during the day, I find.
And both of those products need to have your referral?
Yes, correct. And if you get them together, there's a slightly cheaper deal for them. I think it's $140 for the value pack, a bit more with tax, 170 or whatever. Yeah, so there's a combo deal that comes with them. And yes, and I mean it's not it's good value, but I do make commissions from them, so I guess I'm encouraged in that way. But more than that, I just want to help people, and not everybody, I must admit, but a lot of people that buy them and try them love them, and they have a return policy. So if you don't like them and they didn't do anything for you, feel free to return them. No harm done.
Right. No, this is great. No, I want to wake. That's the goal. We want to give more people, because again, this last 2 years of this whole bullshit that's happened, right? We will be honest here, because there's been nothing but bullshit, and people are just freaking out, and it's given us this ability, if you were aware, to wake up to this stuff. Because again, all the stuff that's been presented, and they have all these sayings of if you don't have 20/20 vision, you won't be able to see it. And all these things that were being coined over the last, I don't know, 40, 50 years that I've been reading. Now I know why they were saying 20/20 vision, because the year 2020 was the year for everyone to freaking wake up.
In it. And it's funny you said 20, because the Root, the company I'm talking about, the Root Zero and Clean Slate, it was founded on 02/02/2020. So the numbers, it was basically, I'll tell you what, this is what I think, and the company founders, I relate to. It was the Root Clean Slate was the answer, the mainstream-ish answer to the vaccine damage, because all these stupid people have got the vaccine damage, and they're not going to drink aged urine to detoxify, are they? But if they took the Root Clean Slate, which is a mainstream-ish product, it would, because it does actually pull out the graphene oxide and all the shit out of the, we can prove under microscope, it pulls that shit out. So it was basically, I'm saying it was the answer to the COVID, the way that one, when that came out. And I really wished, and the company is growing fast. I think it's going to be, I think it's one of the best supplements, basically. And I've tried a few. I've not tried all of them, and I've tried a lot of bullshit ones, and I'm sure you have. And this one is something I would always back, and I'll be on it personally lifelong. I don't really care too much about other people. I just know that I love it, and if other people want to join me, that's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Again, what a thing to be a part of. That's the whole thing that I'm finding and discovering over these last couple of years. Just there's been a lot of people in my life that's just gone away. Like it's just like you're seeing the transformation of ascension, or whatever you want to call it. And I know I know everything is internal, and then everything else that comes external is bonus.
Yeah, so you've lost a lot of friends, isn't it? That's part of the deal. I'm very lucky. I didn't have any friends. I was so weird. So I just made friends. But if you had friends before, it's always hard. You will, the ones that, when you go too high, the low ones will just not relate to you.
They went away.
Yeah, unless they pull you down and they haven't succeeded, then they'll stay. But if they can't succeed and pull you down, they'll leave you.
Yeah, and I know, I really appreciate your time and everything, but I have one more question here, and this is.
Oh yeah, no rush, dude. We're not in a rush here, unless you are.
Okay, but since we're talking about the people in our lives, when you first started to tell people about that, again, now it's kind of, I understand a little more that you really didn't have a lot of people in your life.
No.
What was the reaction when you started saying to people that were kind of like no idea that you did that? Then all of a sudden, okay, yeah, wow, he drinks his urine. Ew.
That's a good question. Yeah, well, I guess all of my old Facebook school friends who were never really my friends, but I added them on Facebook. I don't know, to be honest. I never got any hate from them, but I never got any acceptance. And I literally am very honored and lucky in a way, hindsight, that I did have no friends because I didn't have to lose people and think about, oh, I'm no longer friends with these and mate. I just had nobody in a way. So I guess that's why and it's cool. Not everyone is vocal about urine therapy and all these things, but I think I've been put in this position or chosen to be in this position because my personality and what I've been through suits me being so vocal and out there about something that's smelly, disgusting to normal people. And even my parents don't approve of it, obviously, and hate me for it. So I get the shit too, but it doesn't stop me being vocal and a vocal proponent of something. And that's just my role I played here. And guess what? I don't really care if you don't like me because I've got friends that I've got so many friends now. I'm sure to say I've got so many friends that and I'll never date a girl, truthfully, if she's not into it or open-minded to it.
Right, right. So as your parents, totally freaked
Totally.
out and
My dad especially is just and he's Indian. Shame on him because I thought India's the country that started it all. The yogas and all that stuff.
yeah,
But yeah, he's proper thinks it's disgusting. And that's good. And then I don't know what my dad's side of the family, my mum's side of family think of it. I mean, most people are neutral in the Matrix world.
yeah,
But if they're not, I mean, you can't stop me because I know my truth. Once you know the truth,
absolutely.
and you're this vibration, what am I going to lower my vibration
Mhm.
because one person think that doesn't like it? No, I'll just
Yeah,
keep doing what I do. And I set
yeah,
my
and I
life up
think
now. I've not lived with my parents since last summer. I've moved out. I go there irregularly to visit them, but I don't. That energy is not needed in my life. I can now focus on talking to you without having
absolutely.
to worry about what I'm saying.
Yeah, and what a liberation, right? Like what a feeling of freedom.
Yes, exactly. Long time coming, bro, because I'm 34. I only moved out with my parents at 33. It's taken a while.
Yeah. So that's the thing with reading books like this. Another one I want to show you is another one from Dr. Carey is this one.
Oh yeah, I've not heard that. God, man, the word made flesh. Is that George Carey's famous, isn't he? That author?
Yeah. So
Right.
1920. So 1920, this book was written, and basically what he does, he likes to narrow things down on what it means to be in sin, right? So everyone who is part of the whole indoctrination of religion, they think, oh, if you're doing something harm to somebody else, if everything's outside there,
Mm,
then that's sin. But if you know the truth within inside you,
yeah.
from right down from the root chakra right to the top, and if you start damaging yourself and you know the truth about what you need to do for you, that is the actual sin. And he talks about that in these books. That is
Yes.
true sin.
True. 100% agree. And I think we're always being watched, by the way. So and this is big for me at the moment because I'm not perfect either. And sometimes you think you can do something bad and get away with it because no one's watching. But I do believe, and I'm starting to really focus on it, there's no such thing as doing something bad is against your nature wrong to another person or even to yourself without punishments karmically from the spirits. And you're suffering in this life or the next. So it goes very deep what you said. I know I'm going to like that book. Although to other mainstream people would be too harsh, isn't it? Like,
Yeah. So it amazes me when again, you're starting to discover more of the truth, and everything you do that's against yourself, because ultimately it's your journey. It's you're gonna feel the higher spirits tell you, your God mind. That's
yeah,
gonna go, hey, guide you in, You know what you're doing, because I know, like, if I'm doing something that's shady to myself, even though I try to justify it, no one
yeah,
tells me that it's wrong about myself, right? Just you know
right,
what you're doing. You stop
yeah.
it now.
And then if you know you're doing it wrong at some part of your brain, it hurts you. I mean, even how you feel, um, which is not because I think all we do is to feel good and happy and awesome and high vibration in this reality, which is fair enough, right? So if we do something wrong, whether that be a diet thing or even just morally to somebody say something like a lie that's not a white lie. Do you know what I mean? All these things, there's going to be. I'm making out I'm a saint. I'm not. I'm trying my best too, but I'm just very aware that
Oh, for sure.
there's judgments everywhere from spirits and realms and what we're doing here. Like,
Yeah, that's why I think it's really important that most people, again, I know everyone gets distracted from their TVs, obviously. And we've had a choice here to either go research, find more depth, see what's going on, why they do it this way, why it's happening this way. And how this started for me, it was about 2 years actually before 2019. So I think it's 2017, 2018.
how old are you,
I
by the way, Adrian?
51.
Okay, years young. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. When I first started going this whole self-realization, I came across Yogananda.
Oh, I've heard of that name. Yeah.
Yeah, Paramahansa, Yogananda, the autobiography of the yogi.
Oh yes, a famous book which I never read. I've always meant to read, and I will get around to reading. Yes.
Get it. That was the beginning of my self-discovery to go, okay, this is unbelievable.
Huh.
And it's just not, they don't just talk about, the scriptures from the Bible. They break it down. He breaks it down because of all the gurus that he came across, his masters, and they just really explained the energy of our bodies. And what fascinates me is that these books are written like 100 years ago, over 100 years ago.
I didn't know it was that 100 years old, that book.
Well, his book came out 40, 45, 46, so
Yeah.
75 years ago.
Wow.
But just his journey up that from Sri Yukteswar, his journey with the whole Kriya Yoga, all that stuff, right? Just that was just fascinating me and just led me on this journey to find all this information and then presented me to Santos Bonacci with Sasha Stone. I'm not sure if you're aware of Sasha Stone at all.
Sasha, do you know? I am. Recently, you know why? Sasha Stone's got involved with Root. Did you know that? He supports them. Sasha Stone now affiliates with and supports Root supplements. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, he does. He's only recently, the last few months, I've been on them for a year. The company's only been since 2020. But yeah, Sasha Stone is a big fan. He's interviewed Clayton, the founder, and he supports them and affiliates with them and uses them himself. He loves them.
Yeah, just great human beings. Just like unbelievable, right?
Yeah, I love him. I didn't know Sasha Stone before, and then I heard of him all of a sudden from the Root supplements. I thought that's a cool dude because he has a huge audience, doesn't he? Like Santos.
He does, and they both speak it the way it should be spoken. They don't hold back. They don't hold back because they know that these guys are trying to present to your common person that they're just full of shit.
Yes, I mean I have got friends that think he's a gatekeeper, and I don't think it, but I do. Yeah, I hear from the side, and they go, "Oh yeah, he's a gatekeeper." I just don't like it when everyone's accused of a gatekeeper because then you could say that I'm a gatekeeper, and I know that I'm just a human. I'm not doing anything bad.
And again, it's all a distraction. It's all a distraction, And I think a lot of people are just put there as boss, just go take them out of their element, take them out of this, take them out of that. Everyone still leave them in confusion.
Yes.
Leave them in confusion. And that's why I think all these books, like the Autobiography of the Yogi, I think that's highly recommended. These books from Dr. Carey, like the Zodiac Signs, all this stuff is, I think, important for people's internal growth. So important.
I think you're gonna so what I'm gonna do is after this I'm gonna buy the autobiography. I've been procrastinating it for so long. I know it's the reason why as well. It's a very big book, isn't it? Very thick. It's not tiny.
Which one? The Zodiac?
No, the autobiography. I mean the other one's good too.
Oh yeah, that's about 500 pages.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna get it after this though. I think I need to. I know it's gonna be good when I read it.
I know George Harrison said he's mentioned back when he started reading that book. He goes, when I lose my balance and to get back into the groove, he goes, I pick that book up and I reread it again. I'm already on the third time reading it.
Really? So reread. I love rereading books.
It's that good. It's that good.
Do you know what I love, Adrian? When you read a book and you wait a couple of years, you read it and you're like, oh, I'm a different person. But you didn't even know, or sometimes aware that you change, but you are when you read a book that's real classic. And you're like, I'm seeing new things in the same book that I read a few years ago. It's amazing.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm excited. Thank you so much for your time. This is really good. Great information. I love it. Thank you so much.
Oh, no worries, dude. If you have any more questions, I can answer them either now or even afterwards. We can talk again. This doesn't have to be the last time at all. I mean, I wish you well on the journey, and I'm going to see you around because I like watching people on Facebook. If you come up my newsfeed and stuff, I'm always curious to see what you're sharing and all that stuff.
Well, there's another guy. I'm not sure if you I think you're hooked up with him, but he's a new guy doing that release therapy. He's from Hawaii, Mika Sky.
Oh, I've heard of that guy. I heard of him through. Is he the Santos Bonacci man that came on the Santos when I was talking?
That's right. Yeah, he came in. It's his whole new release therapy, and it's really it's intriguing as well for touch therapy because I think again we need to touch each other, and he just goes on to the fact that the reason why these evil entities, what they're doing out there to keep us away this last two, because they understand that we are getting closer as human species. We're all coming closer. They knew this, right? Yeah. So what they did is they created this bullshit thing that's happening, and to keep us 6 feet apart. Don't touch each other.
Ah, that resonates.
Stay away from each other.
Yes.
So what he's going, he go, no, we need to bring the touch back again. We need to bring all this trauma out of your bodies. And he's a specialist at this. It's really cool.
Oh, that is cool. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to, because I'm friends with him. I added him because of his amazing, I loved his intervention in Santos. I was like, this dude, I could tell he's just amazing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask to see if he's up for an interview and put it on my YouTube channel so I can tap
That'd be
into
great.
that knowledge and his urine knowledge because he's a fascinating guy.
He is. Yeah. So again, just for this whole journey, meeting people like yourself, and again, I'm excited about this. I was telling my wife about this. I said, hey, I'm having a chat with Harry. And what excites me is that I know you're completely engaged with, like, you've had discussions with Santos. Again, I'm a huge fan of these guys, right? And I'm a fan of yours, is watching your stuff on just a little bit of time that I've known you since February. I've not known you, but at least now I get to know you personally this way.
Yeah.
It just excites me to meet all these human beings that are on this mission to elevate all of us,
Yeah.
even though a lot of people don't want to have that. A lot of people just want to stay stuck. They don't want to grow.
Yeah, exactly. It's nice for you to connect and meet new people. By the way, I think I'm going to try and get on I would like to be a regular. I think Santos is interested. So I'd like to talk more. I've got so much to share. I would love to talk regularly on Santos show in the future. It'd be amazing. Because, we all have so much, you have so much knowledge. We're all doing this because we want to spread our knowledge. And I'm just a baby, really. I'm 34. I'm just beginning. I'm 5 years into urine therapy. Imagine in 20 years what we'd be like with our knowledge and mastery. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, and I see next week you have an interview with I think what's called Wednesday.
That's right. Sarah Smiled. Add her on Facebook. She's a cool lady. She's a vegan warrior. She's a really cool mum, I think. She's a very cool person. I interviewed her 2 or 3 months ago on my YouTube channel, and yeah, I love her stuff. She's very powerful. She's been through a lot,
Yeah, no, I'm going through a lot of the kind of I'm not creeping, but when I see people that's associated with you, I'm kind of automatically adding them now, right? It's just I want to bring that new.
I love that. That's what I did at the beginning. Very smart. Keep adding and max your Facebook friend list to 5,000 with all the mutual friends and cool people. You'll learn so much. And your newsfeed every day is like, oh, new information, new information. It's amazing.
And I feel so comfortable and confident about this whole therapy that I have a page of my own. I just started created back in September. It's called Gateway to Self-Observation. And basically what this page is just, I kind of explain to people, like, everything that's happening, don't worry about it out there. That's external stuff. Everything happens within when you self-observe yourself. If you cannot observe yourself, you're screwed. You got to go eternal to watch you need to be the observer of the observer. Observe yourself.
Yes. Do you know what? That's linked in with one thing I remember you posted that I'll never forget from you, is that everyone has like every person has a different view of who you really are. And in a way, the only person that can really know who you are or think are is you. And that's you, because you're the one experiencing your reality 24/7. No one can be in your body with your thoughts all the time. So that I like that, because that takes away the pressure of worrying so much what other people think of you, because they're misinterpreted. They might know 5% of your potential, or 10, 20, but they don't know fully all of you except you.
Yeah, right. And then what happens is when you start going into that journey of self-realization, you realize that the stuff that your parents told you, because they thought you were special and they thought they were special, so they're teaching themselves that what they were taught from their parents teaching you. So now you need to reprogram yourself to get out of that ego-based monkey mind.
Yes.
And go, oh my gosh, now you start witness yourself and you watch your ego start to be taken away. You become a little more, humility comes into play, right?
I like that.
You're more that way. You're not so in your head no more, because you understand self-observation. So anyways, so the page, what I did, so I'm adding some people that I discovered through you. And this one guy came on there, and my page is open to a degree, and he posted on there, he goes, urine therapy. Right? Didn't ask for my permission. Some pages are like, hey, you need to ask for permission. Don't be a knucklehead when you come in here. Just don't post a bunch of your garbage, right? I have a couple people done that already, so I had to take it off.
Yes.
But I left it purposely. I want to see people's reactions. So I've had right now about only 6 to 10 responses. And there are a lot of likes, and there's a couple of them going like they have that old surprise look. So my purpose of leaving it there is to have people go, okay, that the community I have on that page right now is very small, but I want that to kind of start to percolate inside them, right? Okay, what is this? Why is he leaving this urine therapy? What is this all about? Does he drink his pee?
Yes.
Is he drinking pee?
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
the
I want to have that
seed
kind
that
of
you may be doing it by leaving things that are about you, a therapy that you are actually doing. You're at least
Yeah.
approving of it by leaving it there, but you're actually doing it potentially. Who was it, by the way? Do you know the person that was? Do you remember the name?
Let me see real quick. I have it up here.
Sure. And if I'm not in that group, let me know.
His name is Urwell. His name is Urwell P. I'll send you an invite for it as well.
Yes. Oh, I do know OLP. Yes, I know him. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, cool. Send me an invite to that group. I'm happy to have a look at it and to participate in it.
Yeah. Yeah. And also another guy I'm kind of just, watching his stuff is that Sage.
Brother
what's his
Sage.
name?
Brother
Brother
Sage, isn't
Sage.
he?
Yeah.
Yes. Me and Brother Sage have been, yeah, he's an old timer urine therapist and always will talk about urine. He loves it. I love him.
I know he does. Yeah. 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 He's been
Yeah.
doing it for I think the early 90s, I believe.
Correct. I think since 1990 he's been into the urine. I don't think he talks about it way more than me. He's really
Oh, he's not. He doesn't. There's no holding back. It's every day. It's every post. Like he'll
it's
post.
literally nothing else. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
he'll post himself in the bathroom, ready to do his enema.
Right. Yeah. And that's
So-
cool. But my journey's more holistic, I guess. I've got to use that urine. I've got to do this and not just focus on one thing. Although I do love urine, but and I know he does other things holistically. I'm very broad and shallow, I guess, and he goes deep with one thing, and that's cool. So we can all learn from each other, you know.
Yeah, right on. Well, I'm looking forward to chatting with you again. More questions, and again, just sit here and just chat with you and learn about the journeys that we're embarking on.
Yeah, I've enjoyed our time, brother. Lastly, I'll send you the messenger an ebook about roots. You can read a short one, and then I'll put my link when you're ready. If you want to buy some, try some. It's up to you.
Sure.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Awesome, Adrian, brother. Have an amazing day, dude. Oh, and lastly as well, send me your email after this, and I'll send you the recording of this.
Fantastic. Awesome. Thank you, Harry.
Hey, no worries. All right. Cheers,
Have a
bro.
great day.
Same to you.